Okay, in this lesson I'm going to take a look at how to export an XML from Final Cut Pro and Premiere Pro and import those XMLs into DaVinci Resolve. So first things first, exporting an XML. This is sequence 2. I want to make sure that I have sequence 2 selected. Go File, Export, XML, and just leave everything checked, include master clips outside, save project with latest clip metadata recommended, version 5, click OK. And it's going to ask me where to send it, and I'm going to say, I'm just going to put it here. And what it's doing is it's putting all the clip data, audio, filters, etc., into a text file, essentially, that other programs can read, such as Adobe After Effects and DaVinci Resolve. Okay, so now the same thing can be done in Premiere Pro. You can just go File, Export, Final Cut Pro XML. Again, you just tell it where to save it and click Save. Then you want to go and bring those into DaVinci Resolve and or After Effects if that's where you're going to be doing your grading. So, okay, so that'll bring you into your project manager here. And then you're going to select the default project by double-clicking it. And you're going to skip the media pool and go right to Conform. And here, there's two ways you can do this. You can right-click here and click Import AAF EDL XML, or you can go to File, Import AAF EDL XML. We're going to select that. Go to that sequence that we exported. All of this should be pretty much standard. Leave all this stuff checked. And you can ignore file extensions when matching, which may fix certain problems that you're having. But this use sizing information is really helpful. If you resized your footage, if you used, if you were zooming into the footage and sort of reframing it behind your 1920 by 1080 frame, or in the case of this project, or not this project, but another project in which I changed the dimensions from 1920 to 818 to create a 235:1 crop, you'll want to use that sizing information and then set the timeline to your 1920 by 818, and then you click OK. In this case, everything's 1920 by 1080, and I think there's some zooming a little bit on one of the clips, so I'm going to click OK. And it's going to go in, it's going to interpret that text file, it's going to bring the clips into the media pool and my timeline into the editor here. Boom, totally slick, and I can move on to color correction. And then once I'm in here, I can go into the gallery, and if I wanted to, I could load these DaVinci looks, which none of these I'm really happy with at all. I could go grab stills from other projects. In other words, I could go, let's say, if I were to go into local DB, admin, and let's see, this one, go into the master session, memories, and start grabbing these. So you can see that you can come in, you can have a bunch of predetermined looks set up that you want to use, and any power grades that you have, and then come back into here, and now you have those. And of course, you obviously have color gear available to you at all times without even setting it up. It's always loaded, and then anything you save into your custom LUTs folder is also available to you. So if we were to come in and just go, you can see there's a baseline that I can start with, or I can disable it by clicking here on the number, and that's my raw footage. And then when you're done, obviously you're going to go to deliver, you're going to add this to your queue, you're going to and then you're going to go back to the Conform window, and you're going to export that XML back out to something you can interpret in Final Cut Pro or Premiere Pro if you wish. And that's dealing with XMLs. That's the pipeline, essentially. I did want to show you one other thing. Let's say you're in a project like this, and you want to go back to another project, or you want to close this one and open another one. You don't have to close DaVinci and reopen it. You can go to this this home screen here, this project manager, by clicking the home icon down here in the lower left-hand corner. And you can go, and I want to open this project because I want to, don't save, want to show you a problem that you may run into if you're not careful, if you don't pre-plan very well. I just want you to be aware of this if you're planning on using DaVinci in your pipeline. This is the What Lies Between Us timeline, and you can see there's a lot of missing footage here. And the reason is if I go back to this folder here, this is WLBU grade, this is all the footage. You'll notice that there's some doubles here. You'll see like 11.2, 11.3, 11.4, 11.7, 7.2, where there's duplicates. And you can see that all the clip ones were done in Final Cut, all of the numerical ones that were done with MTS files out of 5D to RGB. Well, this was aggregated, all the footage was aggregated on 2 different machines. So it was being captured on my machine using 5D to RGB. It was being captured on another machine that was going to be doing the editing using 5D to RGB and Final Cut Pro. So as a result, we ended up with a lot of duplicates. And DaVinci has a hard time, it ends up with what it calls a time code conflict. And so it's unable to bring these clips. They actually get brought into the media pool. They're all in here. Everything got brought in. The problem is that it can't put them in the timeline because of a time code issue. So what I would have to do is I'd have to go back into Finder, and I'd have to rename all of these clips with unique file names. I'd have to reconnect them in Final Cut, and then bring them back into the timeline using the same XML round-tripping timeline that we just outlined. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. So up next is going to be this bad boy right here. So I hope you'll stick around and learn more about color gear.